sweeping the country, and at the center of it is something people might find odd, even repulsive, a green smoothie. Joining us here today is Jennifer Graham, a.k.a. Rawbella of rawbella.com, and she's here to demystify the green smoothie madness. Welcome, Jennifer. Now tell us, what the heck is a green smoothie? Well, why would anybody want to drink it?
Well, because it's delicious.
Okay.
And I know that's really hard to believe that you can drink vegetables and it be good, but this is really delicious. And so I'm going to make one for you today.
Nice.
And tell you all about it. A green smoothie, we always start with our green leafy vegetable. Okay. And we've got here today, I've got kale. So this is washed, and kale is pretty hard. So you have to cook it. You probably wouldn't eat this in a salad unless you marinated it for a day or two. But if we blend it, we can really break it down. So I've got my blender here. And what I do is, because I do this in the morning and I want it to be relatively quick, I don't spend time chopping anything. I'm really kind of rough with it. I just take it and I break it up.
That's something we can do at home.
Yeah, it's quick, because I mean, literally, you want this to take 5 minutes, because anything becomes difficult, especially with the morning routine. You're not gonna do it. So I've got my kale, and so that was about 2 handfuls of kale. Okay. So once I have my dark green leafy vegetable in, I can do any fruit. And so I like bananas, because bananas make it nice and smooth. Sometimes sometimes I freeze my banana, because that just makes it a little bit easier. Thank you. You're welcome. So I've also got orange here, really easy, just plop that in. And so I have a pretty high powered blender, but you could do this with any blender. Okay. So I was doing it with a pretty inexpensive blender. I have my apple. This is a very essential tool in the raw food kitchen because, again, it's a time saver. So you just put that down in the center and one push, and voila.
I need one of those.
Yes, you do. $3 in H-E-B.
Wow.
So then you just take the center out and we just throw that in there. And, you know, as I'm talking, it's going a little bit slow, but like I said, this is real quick in the morning. So then we want to add some ice. Nice. And for sweetness, you know, I make this for my son. I want it to be relatively sweet. I use dates. Dates are low on the glycemic index. You know, a lot of people have healed themselves from diabetes on an all-raw diet. So
interesting.
You want to make sure that you're using foods that are low on the glycemic index. So I'll put maybe 3 or 4 dates in there. Okay. And you could use agave, which is great. If you want to use agave, you want to make sure you use a high-quality agave, one that has not been processed, because that's really the basis of the whole raw food diet, is that it's unprocessed foods. And then water.
And how much water? I can put that in there.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. I would say just enough to cover the greens. Okay. Not too much.
All right.
And I like to use water.
Why water instead of fruit juice?
Because, again, we don't want to add any additional sugar if it's not necessary. Water is great. We should be drinking lots of water during the day, so this is helping us to get our water intake in. That's pretty good, I'd say.
Awesome.
And do you ever freeze the bananas?
I do freeze the bananas, and that just makes it a little bit colder and easy. It's a great thing to do because the bananas stay for longer. You know how you buy a bunch of bananas and they go bad? Yeah, exactly. So... all right, perfect. So my blender's pretty loud, so
here we go.
Here we go. We're going to put it on high. And so, you know, I don't have necessarily a set recipe, and so you saw I added a little bit more agave in there. And really, it'll just be to however your sweet tooth is, you know. I just kind of change it up.
And how do you know it's high quality agave? And what would a low quality agave do if you happened, I had no idea there was a difference.
Well, agave is dark when it comes out of the plant, and so this is a darker agave. Okay. This is a Sunfire Superfoods agave, and this is really one of the higher quality ones on the market. Okay. And I use that one. You can they sell agave in the supermarket, but you do have to do your own research on that.
As to what is the high quality.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So, who wants to try it?
Definitely I do.
We can do it. Nice. Yeah, it's very green.
It is very green. And so, you know, a lot of times people who aren't into this may say, oh, that's so green. How do you drink that?
That's not bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was so eager. I drink ahead. Listen, I did have a question for you about that, though. How do you get children? If you're interested in getting your children or a child
Well, that's what I was going to say.
a raw food diet, how do you work that in?
Well, because, you know, my son is 7, and 7-year-olds can be pretty finicky, and he might look at it. I mean, he's been kind of used to it now that I'm doing this as a business and a lifestyle. But a lot of kids are going to say, green, I'm not drinking that. That looks gross. And so the answer for me is to find an opaque cup and a straw and put it in like that. And they don't even think about it. Would you like to put, you can drink it out of this one then.
Yeah, let me trade mine out.
Now, do you do this every day?
I do it
or
every day. It's so
other,
important.
Okay.
Yeah, every day for balance. You know, I really, you know, when you go outside, there are always opportunities to make wrong choices, and you might find yourself having to eat something that's not as healthy. But I've started the day off as healthy as I possibly can, and so has my son. So
Awesome.
it's a really good idea.
And what other fruits could you use besides?
my.
I mean, what are the variables? What other things could you do?
There are no limitations. Frozen mango is fantastic.
Yum.
Pineapple, papaya, which is my personal favorite. And papaya is a fantastic fruit. It has the highest amount of digestive enzymes of any food that you could ingest. So that's a really great one. But the sky's the limit.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, cheers, ladies.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And when we come back, Dion Ross will be here with us. She's a personal trainer, and she's going to get us moving.